Okay, so now it's time for our featured speaker, and we have a tradition here at the GNA, and who here knows what that tradition is?
Noah, all the way.
All the way to the back? We sent our featured speaker all the way to the back. That's right, Ellen. We sent our featured speaker all the way to the back. So Marshall, you need to stand on up and walk all the way to the back, maybe just a little bit past the restroom right there, not too far. And you know why we do that, Marshall, right?
Oh, so you can get laid out, right?
So we give you that grand entrance. Thank you so much there. So, let me just go ahead and get my notes here. Okay, so here we go. So today's featured speaker is Marshall Childs, and he's the founder of Fundavision Inc. And at this week's meeting, he's going to be discussing funding your vision and the market. Marshall Childs is the founder of Fundavision. His company supports startups and entrepreneurs with business needs like startup capital, growth capital, exit strategy, and business infrastructure. His company also helps people with information and services based on their business needs. This includes help with finding loans and grants, registering your business if you are a new business, helping with licensing and permits, and finding opportunities to expand abroad. Fundavision empowers business entrepreneurs by comparing the ideas, skills, and resources supplied to what buyers want demand. Their process is designed to educate them about you, then find the customers. They deal in direct and lower cost, making your business successful and the customers value. Fundavision provides business support. They look for people who want to create a product for profit. What makes them different is they match the producer to various retail outlets they otherwise would not have access to and help small businesses become more successful. And the main areas that Fundavision works in are legal, computer, accounting, marketing, planning, and financing. So with that being said, please give a big warm GNA welcome to Marshall Childs! Yay! Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you and Gabra. So here we go. Fundavision. We thought about this name. Actually, we decided that you got to enjoy having your business. There's got to be something that's fun about it, and you have to have fun about making money. And it's all about your dream. It's about your vision. So it's about, for us, it's about creating your vision. It's not what we think you need to do. It's about us listening to you about how to create your success story. So what I'm going to talk about today. Well, let me introduce myself first. I'm Marshall Childs. I've been in business since. Well, seriously, I've been in business almost full-time since about 1988, and I started a company, grew it to a few $1 million, created a merger acquisition for over $1 billion, done a couple of other success stories since then, been involved in many businesses, hundreds of businesses. Some of them have been really global. One of them was Global Crossing I worked with, and it actually did a $10 million sellout. So it's all about how to do this. It's a process. There's no magic to it. Once you know the process, you can repeat it over and over. So Fundavision is about teaching you how to make your business successful. So based on just some simple business ideas that I've collected over the 20-something years of my experience. And so the schedule for today, I've outlined it basically. The great idea, the financing your business, the management, and the marketing. We're in today at 1 o'clock. Any questions? Otherwise, I'm moving on. So, what you need to get? You need to get having a great idea, a marketing effort, and a product ready to sell. Product orders. You can't just have a great idea in your head. You've got to do something about it. You've got to really have something you're ready to sell to the market. And if you have something you're ready to sell to the market, people want it. So what you'll have is you'll have orders. And you have to get, you're a build and grow company. In other words, you're going to get this as you go. You don't have all the answers. You don't have everything you need to have, but you will have. So as you get things, you're going to keep growing and you're going to keep getting more successful. Does everybody get what this really means? Yeah. So you got to get what? You got to get happy. You gotta enjoy what you're doing.
Happy.
Anybody get that? You gotta,
Oh yeah.
You gotta get happy. You gotta enjoy. Okay. Okay, so.
Oh!
Okay, here we go. I don't know if you can hear it.
Bobby McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy. I remember that song. That was the late 80s.
Don't worry. Be happy. So business is serious stuff. You gotta be in for the long haul. You know, you gotta love what you're doing, and you gotta enjoy what you're doing. So don't worry, be happy. Okay. Let's start with that. All right. Okay. So basic definitions. Okay. What is a business? Business is when others invest, and your income is greater than your expenses. And a hobby is, you love to do both of these things, okay? But a hobby is your money, you continually put it in because you really love what you do, and your expenses are greater than your income. Now what's wrong with either one of these? Nothing. But you got to understand which one you're doing. And both of them, I recommend both of them highly. Maybe you want to have both at the same time. But for me, my business is my hobby is my business. I just love what I do, and I want you to love what you do too. If it's not, change the picture. So you start with a great idea. What is a great idea? Well, it comes with a product solution. So what problem are you solving? What do your customers say? What do they demand? And when will you make sales or profit? And it's all defined by a product matrix. Okay, I've tried to put some slides in here that go back to the web because we're kind of a web kind of group here, and we like to do things on the web. So I hope my internet speed is up here. So just to let you know, there's websites out there. This is one of them out there, okay? How many people have heard of McKinsey? Okay, McKinsey is one of the top companies to go to understand what's out there, what's going on in the market. You want information about your company. You want to know where to focus yourself. It says right here, the first line, right here, it says 30 trillion combined amount growing cities and inject into the global economy by 2025. $30 trillion. That means that if you're in business, you're going to be hit by that money some way. So you want to know what's coming at you. You want to see what's going on. We're in a growth mode. People say, hey, we need to improve the economy, and money's going in. You want to be on the receiving end of it. Okay, so next thing you do is look at what are requirements for success. So you want to have something that's revolutionary, something that's really different, a complex process. It's not just a better idea than the one that's out there, something that's really different, something that really makes a difference. And I'm going to talk about people that have done that. Henry Ford was one of the first people to do that. Well, why was Henry Ford important? He was like, fourth or fifth grade graduate. Ford knew one thing. He wanted his cars built, but he couldn't get people to come in the Great Depression to build his cars because they didn't want to work for him. The work was monotonous and they hated it. So Ford was a revolutionary. This woman over here on the right, Mary Parker Follett, she came up with an idea. And here's what she came up with. And I just pulled my Wiki page on her. People will work, even though he was paying them more money than you could make in the Great Depression, above minimum wage, they still didn't want to work there. So what she did is she was a pioneer in the field of organizational theory in business. What that means is that she saw this problem, and she found that people would work not for money as much as they would security. And so Ford offered health care. For the first time in history of the United States, Ford offered health care not to just the workers, but to their employees and their families. And they all couldn't wait to get to work for it because they saw the importance of that. So you need to understand these things, and you need to understand what makes you successful. What makes Disney successful? So, great success story. The guy that we all heard the story, how many times did he go bankrupt? How many times did he had to talk to the bank and relaunch the idea? The project stopped and started so many different times. But Disney kept going. He actually created something. What makes Disney successful is they have a roadmap that comes up. Okay, they have a hard plan for how they do everything. And here it comes. Isn't that beautiful how they did their website? You get the feeling right away of how Disney likes to do his business. So there's a plan online. You don't have to guess what business they're in, because they'll tell you. If you just go online to their website, they'll tell you in great detail. Don't be afraid of copying ideas, but just make sure the idea is yours and not theirs. Remember that it's what made them successful. It's not necessarily what makes you successful. And then, of course, Google. Everybody loves that story. So Google starts with just a great idea, no advertisements on their webpage, and they just boomed overnight. By the way, the Stanford students that started it have a loose association with them, and they're all PhD graduates, and they decided that they would put an idea together and make a lot of money. And they, of course, they were all Stanford PhD students, and they all went to the school because you have to get clearance from the school to be able to start a business. Otherwise, they're going to claim ownership and start suing you. So they went to the school, and the school took a look at it and said, "You guys have never made any money at this, so just get out of here." And that's what started Google. Wow. So marketing plan, marketing sales plan. 90% of the businesses that fail, over 90% of the businesses that fail, fall short due to not a bad marketing plan, zero marketing plan. I have a great idea, all we got to do is make it, right? And all we got to do is have it, and as soon as we have it, everybody's going to run to buy it. No, they won't. You have to know how you're going to market. You have to know how you're going to sell. And that's why I stress, have your customers. Because if you don't have your customers, you don't have anything. You don't have a business. People will, and I'll get into this later, people will buy before you even have a product. You can make money before you have anything to sell. Hopefully we're all honest. We'll actually have a product at the end of the day, but you can actually sell before you have a product. So understand what you do best. I mean, what are you good at? Are you a good engineer? Are you a good salesperson? Where are you good at? You know, you're good at internet design. You need to know what you need to do, and you take care of that. And then have others help you where you're not good. Be passionate, see it to the end, be accountable. Be accountable to besides yourself, find somebody that's going to hold you to account for who you are. I have somebody, I call up all the time, and she, yeah, it's a woman, and she tells me where I'm wrong. And I said, man, that's the best advice I could ever hope for. Somebody that tells me when I'm wrong. I don't want to hear it, so she tells me. And so you want people around you that support you in a positive way. So the other one, to understand, this is a lot of detail here, but I want to go over it just very basically. This is the business process to create products. You have to understand these are the steps you need to take. You have like interactive design sessions. You go with your people. You figure out how your idea is going to work. You go with the workflow, the proposed workflow. You do requirements extraction from that, and then you look at what is it better? Is it better if I make it, or is it better if somebody else makes it? Where's the money? Where's the best idea? Where's the best use of my time, my skills, my ability, and how fast can I get to market? So then you look at the next level, which is the functional spec or the rep or vendor analysis. So you have a different look at this thing depending on you're gonna define this so you know what you're doing. Make your roadmap. Some people call it a business plan, but it's much more than that. It's actually a detail of what your product's going to look like and what your market's going to look like and where you're going to end up. And then I'll go to the other one, the vendor analysis. You might go through a vendor, somebody that you might partner with, and then finally the implementation of the product itself. So it can't be a loose idea. You got to put your money in the game. You got to put your effort in the game. Whatever that is, you got to put it in the game. So the product must exist and it must be well defined. How to get the money. So we want to know what heroes you really are. 65% of all new jobs in the past 17 years. That's who you are sitting in this room. You create more than half of the non-farm. It's actually 12%, I believe, is government, and about 10% is non-profit now. So that's 70, 80. Like, you know, you're talking like less than 10% is corporates. Big corporations with billions of dollars. They actually are contributing less to the economy than anybody else. And you want to see that 13 times more patents come per employee on small business. So the creativity level is through the roof. And you make up 97% of all exports. So exports are the key to the economy. What we have is a balance of trade deficit. It's not so much, I can talk about this in economic theory, but people worry about the debt. I'm more concerned about the exports. How much money are we bringing in this country? We had the potential to do huge sales overseas, and we're not even doing it. We're the number one, we're the bottom of the list for world exports as a country, as a developed nation. And we have a huge potential to do this. So, small business creates 75% of all the jobs in our economy. How about that? Want to know where the jobs are? They're
In India?
They are in you. The jobs are in you.
It's in India and China.
You think, okay, I can go with this. All right. You understand what I said? About 97% of the export. So the problem is we don't export enough. In other words, if you export, we have buyers. I'm not talking about outsourcing. That's what most corporations do. I'm talking about exporting and importing. So you're importing talent and you're exporting material product. One of the great lessons that we've learned in world economics is that when we use people in other countries, they become more attached to our products and they want to buy our brand because they see our brand. We're branding ourselves as a country. Oh, this guy's giving me a job. I mean, where's your loyalty to somebody that gives you the job? As to who gives you the job. This country gave you a job. They want to be part of this country. We want to be more like us. They want to be more like what we do. They want to buy the stuff we buy. You know, they want to buy American cars, heavens knows why, but they want to buy American cars. Why? Because they see us as a great thing. So the secret to our economy and our global economy is exports. And if you have to use somebody overseas, do it. Because you're not robbing jobs, you're actually creating more jobs in this country. The only kind of jobs that are ever going to leave this country are jobs that are really tough to fill around here. We have plenty of people that are much more creative than the jobs we export. Just consider it. The greatest opportunities in funding and all money today exist in small business. Small business rules. What you need to know, okay, funding is lots of money out there. Small business is the greatest target for money right now in the economy. And you need to know what the strengths and weaknesses of getting money today are all about. Where do you get the money? You get the money with a corporation. So, friends and family. That means you have people, they're not necessarily your friends or your family, they're people you know in your circle. They're people that believe in you as a person, see the quality of what you're trying to create, and they're behind you. They enjoy what you're doing, they hear your passion. You don't stop talking about it 24 hours a day, and they're sick of hearing you. They just put, here, take my money, just let me see what you're doing, right? Those are the kind of people you want to talk to, because your excitement is their excitement. Share your passion, share what you believe in with other people. The other place to get money is founders, people that you invite to come be part of your company. And you don't have to pay them. You can actually charge them. So what does it cost to join my company? There's a buy-in price. You want to be part of a good thing? Who do you think really did this big time that you know? A name that has a little apple for a logo. Oh, I think I gave it away. He did that.
Steve Jobs?
Not Jobs, but Wozniak.
Wozniak, oh sorry, yeah,
Wozniak told everybody, I met Steve back in the day, and I remember Steve, he was saying, if you need a job, we're going to have a job for you. I'll put you to work. Give me your name. I'll write it down. He wrote it down. Everybody he wrote down had a job. People were buying in. People were doing what they needed to do to make him successful. Because he had the love, he had the passion, he had the generosity. That's what we need to get. We need to get what? What do we need to get?
A name like the Woz.
Happy. We need to get happy. You need to love what you're doing. You need to have a passion.
Oh,
what
yeah.
it's all about.
Have fun.
Yeah, you have fun, like we say, Fundavision. So the other part is VC money. So you can get about somewhere between 10 to 50% of ownership you're giving away in the beginning, and then 40 to 99% by the time you're done. Now, it's not angel and VC funding is not bad. It's a good idea, but you're going to understand when it is a good idea and when it's not. And then also unsecured debt means that debt does not back by anything. Secured means you got something to show for it. SBA, Small Business Administration, grants, and finally strategic. Strategic is the most overlooked way of funding I think that there is. You know people, if you associate with them, you'll make money. So corporate funding. So what does it take to get a corporation? Well, here you go. Anybody got a name they want to have for a corporation? Right here. Go to the website, put in the entity name. You want to click corporation, and then you want to put in let's see, GMYX. Okay, see if anybody's taken that name. So, nope, nobody's taken it. I can take that. So if I choose a name, I just look it up here. That's as hard as it gets. Okay, can anybody remember how to do that? That's it. That's the end of it. So once you've done that, then you just go to filing. Now, how hard is filing? This is the Secretary of State again. These are the kind of filings you can do, and this is how much it costs to do them. So you've seen these things online. I'll file your corporation papers for you for how much? $500, $1,000? Well, it looks a little cheaper here, by the way. There's a little bit more to it, but I just want you to know it's not expensive. It's something really cheap. It's easy to do, and I can discuss in length why this is a good idea. The big thing you want to know about a corporation is that you're protected. Your personal assets are protected, your personal liability is protected, your credit is protected. If you get tired of the corporation or something happens that you can't deal with, you can always just slough off the corporation and you're okay 100%. So that's why a corporation is a great idea. Also, it's a legitimate structure. It's something that's recognized, something that makes you look very professional. And are your taxes any more or any less? Well, if you have to pay taxes, is that a bad problem? No, it's a good problem. You want to make a lot of money, so you have to worry about a lot of taxes, right? That's what you want. Okay, the worst situation is to have no taxes. Okay, that's what you call broke. Okay, so anyway, create a product or show how your product is going to succeed. Show your financials. So you want to develop some sort of a projection that tells you how you're going to make money and when. So have buyers ready to buy. You can prepay your sales. You can get purchase orders, POs, LOIs, letter of intents. Okay, those are all good. Letter of credit. Oh my gosh, letter of credit. Better than money from the bank. You just go to any bank with a LOC. Here's your money right there on the spot. Boom, we'll just trade it across like cash. That's the one that everybody dreams about. Usually you get a PO. And if you get a PO, there's money behind the PO because that's a secured asset. Letter of intent, depending on who it is and what it is, it's cash as well. It's always a prelude to cash, no matter what. VC funding. So VCs, everybody loves VCs, right? Okay, well, what they want is it's a large fixed asset investment. Like you want to have something like that to consider VC money rather. And pharmaceutical companies, huge infrastructure and big long wait times to get approvals, and something that you're going to need a ton of money just to keep going before this thing goes through. So you might have an 8 to 10 year window before your product gets approved. So you're going to need money to back you because this product has potential. This product has buyers. People are ready to buy this. You got promises to buy this product in huge quantity, millions and millions of dollars. But what you don't have is money to keep the effort going. So that's when you need VC money. You're already at a stage you need the money. And within reason is the other part. So you want to make sure that this is not to buy you a new house or a new car. This is to make your company grow. So expertise in expanding the market, running the operation, expand the business. VCs offer this kind of help and support. If you know nothing about a business, maybe you're a great programmer, you have a great idea, but you have absolutely no idea how to run a business. You need somebody to help you run the business. VC firms are going to offer you this. If they like your idea, they're going to invest in you because they already see that they can develop purchase orders, they can develop customers, they can see they can make a ton of money. By the way, they're going to look for 30 times whatever money they put in. They want to see 30 times whatever money they give you. And they also want to see you spend all that money within the first year. So they give you $10 million, they want that zero by the end of the first year. Some VCs may say that they know what they're doing, but it's like, I want to say my favorite expression here, buyer beware. Not everything is as good as it looks. So if that's the way you want to go, make sure that they're going to really offer the material to you. Make sure that they've got the people behind it. You know the names, you know the people, you know what they're getting you into. You've got the backing you need. Otherwise, it just comes right back on you, and you could lose the company. You could lose your idea. You could lose your invention. So VCs invest will propel your company to heights such that your remaining stake is still worth more than it would have been without infusion. In other words, 10% of $100 million equals $10 million. That's a good deal. 100% of $1 million equals 100,000. Which one is better? Well, everybody wants money, but it's like, how big can you grow your company? If the best you can do is $1 million based on the way you're doing it right now, then if you get a lot of money, you can make a lot more money. Well, it's an obvious choice.
100% of $1 million is 100,000?
Yeah.
Or 10%?
Or 10%. 10%.
Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry.
No problem.
All right. My first mistake, my last mistake.
No worries.
Or life. That's it. I'm done with mistakes. That's it. Okay. And what do you have to get to have a business? You have to get happy. Don't be too serious about anything, okay? You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things wrong. I do things wrong once every single, whatever decade. But,
once a year, right?
Once every millennium.
All the time, okay? So you want to get that you're going to do things wrong. If you're not, I always tell my people, I say, if you're not doing things wrong, you're not doing anything.
Right.
Because you got to go out there and you got to get dirty to find out how to do this. This is a really bad slide here. I can't read it, but it's how VCs work. You see all the arrows going back and forth? VCs don't have money to give. They go out and they find other people's money, and then they make reports, and they go back and forth with all these fund investors, and they go with general partners, and they have parallel funding, and they go funding LLCs at limited partners, and they go back to agencies, and they go back to management fees, injection fees, capital conditions, marginal calls, risk diversification. They're doing all this crazy stuff behind you. VCs have no money. They go use other people's money. They're a business. Remember, if you're using your own money, it's not a business. It's a hobby. So they're using other people's money. So when they get you money, they're just going out and borrowing from other people. They just go straight to the bank sometimes and just borrow from the bank. So we'll borrow from the bank at 4% interest or 6% interest, and we'll charge you 30 times interest. How's that? Oh, it's a good deal for us. They can do it. They have the lines of credit to pull. This is why when you think about VCs, also think about strategic partners. Maybe you can't pull the money, but somebody you can align yourself. Mortgage above equity. You can do that. No collateral. You can get around that. Those numbers, 10,000 to 250,000 plus. Those are the general ranges you'll see. Credit. So everyone's heard of Dun & Bradstreet, right? Okay. So I can pull up the site here. So Dun & Bradstreet. All you have to do, if you have a company, hopefully it's a corporation. What you want to do is you want to be known by Dun & Bradstreet. So the first way of getting business credit is just go to this website and say, here's my business name, here's my business city, thank you, and just leave. Okay, so now from that point on, they will go spend money to check you out. They'll send you a form. They'll say, well, tell us how great your business is. Tell us how much money you make. I make about $100 million a year. And they will publish it just like that. Whatever you put down, they'll publish. Isn't that shameful? Well, people might get suspicious if you say you're working out of your bathroom and you make $100 million a year, but you've got to put some reality to it. But think about it like this. What do you see your business as potential? What do you plan to do this year? Don't be afraid to push yourself a little bit. In other words, this may not be exactly what I'm doing, but this is what I know I'm going to have done by the time people start looking at me. Anytime somebody's looking for credit or looking for doing business with you, it involves money, they're going to look this up. They're going to look you up on LinkedIn, they're going to look you up on Facebook, and they're going to look you up on Dun & Bradstreet. They pay for this research. And as soon as they start looking you up, you get these big, hard inquiries, and they want to know more about your business, they want to know about your trade lines. I can talk a whole other lecture about how to do this and how to build up your business to make it credit worthy just using this device. You can just draw money unsecured. Strategic. So with a strategic relationship, you don't have to have security. Bonds, warrants, corporations, so that's like issuing stock. So a promise to pay, they call it a warrant. or bonds. Some people call them bonds, but it's a bond warrant, which means like it's tradable, it's guaranteed, or it converts to stock, or there's some other condition that involves it. Valuations. So based on the value of what your company is worth right now, you've got something in the warehouse that's worth a lot of money, but you haven't been able to sell it yet. But we know it's worth money, so they'll give you money based on what you have on hard sales. What's the difference between what you owe and what you got? It's called a valuation. You do the same thing with your house. You get an evaluation with your house. Okay, so cash flows, you're in business. Secured. We talked about LOIs, POs, even credit card volume. I don't recommend that one. That's the last place I'd go. That's expensive. But savings, investment. SBA, you can go to the SBA. SBA will not put money into a new business at all. You have to have an established business. Term loans to $2 million, express lines of credit. Disadvantages, main disadvantages, if you want to go for other financing, they want to be FIFO, they want to be the first one out. So you have to pay off the SBA before you can get your new capital in. So you can't float multiple lines with it. There's some early restrictions. And it's not easy to get it. Grants. If you get them, they're great. It takes a lot of work. You spend a lot of time. There's two kinds. There's government, there's private. And remember, the most important thing right here is work within your vision. Do not try to get money and make your business fit within a grant. Find a grant that fits within your business. It's because you'll be much happier in the long run. And otherwise you're going to end up going the wrong way with your business. You'll end up doing something that's not really good for your business, and it's just not a good thing. You lose your passion, you lose your fun, you lose your having fun.
You're not happy.
You definitely won't be happy. Two or more companies, the merger. One way of doing a merger is dissolve the company, to buy a company. You don't have to have money to buy it. All you have to have stock. And you convert that company to a subchapter of your company. It's called subchapter S. Companies do this all the time. They call them mergers. You hear about it. Google bought LinkedIn. Subchapter S. So reverse takeover. You don't have any money, but you have somebody that has an empty corporation that they decided they just don't want to do this anymore. So what you do is you buy the corporation from them. They've already gone public. They've already spent millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you buy it on a promise, and then you convert the name. Then you create it for, I think it's $50 or $25. You change the name of the company to your name, and now you have all this history. You have all this credit information. You have a huge advantage. You got to make sure what the shell corporation was doing before you take it over. You got to check out your facts. So you're going from, or you want to go from private to public. So this is like a real quick transition without spending a lot of money. Then again, it depends on your situation. Reverse mergers, buyout. So you can buy out somebody based on your leverage within your own company. So you want to think about a merger and these kinds of operations as a marriage. Okay, these are, both of you are in love with the idea. There's some things like distribution channels, manufacturing capability, project funding, intellectual property that they may have or you may have. These are things that people see, oh my gosh, it's perfect for us. It helps me, it helps you, it helps both of us. Maybe it's not in my core competency, but you're doing this thing that's going to support me 100%. So I have a product, you have a manufacturing facility, you need to manufacture, I need to have somebody to do it for me. Oh, and we both see the money. That's what's called a great relationship. So another one would be strategic. So you get an allowance for what you talked about with the VCs for operation management, and you want to know when to start and when to end. So termination is like you don't. An alliance operation is a short-term relationship. So if you want to get them to get you up to speed of how to run your company, or give you this management help that you need. You might call it consultant, you might call it partner, you call it all these different things, but it has a limited scale to it. So it gives you this competitive advantage, it gives you this strategic advantage, and it gives you the contract negotiation skills, valuation, terms, things like that. It's just all good all the way around. It's like your management team. Your management team is everything. It's the key to funding. Investors want strong management over a great idea. Okay, so keeping track of things. You got to manage. Keep the latest figures on absenteeism, right? Give me the latest figures. Misuse. So you want to know what you're doing. You want to keep track of your company. You want to be on top of things. That's called management. You want experts in the fields of marketing, sales, design, fulfillment, people, finance, other areas maybe. These are the people that you're looking for that are going to make your firm successful. Marketing. Marketing is the most important thing. This is the rule of marketing is the 4 P's called the product, place, price, promotion. This is a matrix here and how that works. Marketing, putting the right product in the right place at the right time at the right price, or the right place at the right time. So it's all of these things together. So when you're thinking about your product, you're thinking about how to put it on the market in those ways. If you can answer all of these questions, you've done a lot of work. It's a simple thing to remember. It's another thing to put it in practice. It's more important than the product. Most companies fail because they don't see what the customer sees or wants. To get funding today, you need to have a strong marketing plan. And people have to see it. You can sell the product before it's engineered or made. Everything is sales. You got to know. And I've talked earlier about McKinsey, Gardner. I won't go here with Gardner. Gardner is like the gospel. If you ever quote Gardner to a bank, they're going to say, "Oh, it must be a good idea." So, create your marketing advantage. What do you do? What makes you different? What can I do unlike other people? And what excites me? This is your vision. P.K. Prahalad, this is him, the guy that invented this idea. It says the most important thing is to have core competency. So something that's critical, we talked about Ford, we talked about Google, we talked about Disney, something they do that's really different than everybody else. This is the criteria. The 3 rules of core competency are 1, 2, 3 right here. It's not easy for competitors to imitate. Not that you can't be, but it's not easy. You have to do a lot of work to get there. It can be reused widely for many products and many markets. And it must contribute to the end consumer's experience benefits. Thank you, Wikipedia. Core strength: engineering, design, build excellence, marketing, technical skills, sales, industry understanding, customer experience, and legal, arts. Do what you do best and let others help you with the rest. So that's what we are. That's Fundavision. We do about 30K to 100 to 10 million right now. We push an ownership versus a payback, and we promote. We think we have the promotion best value in the company. Other economic advisors have said, and analysts have said, don't run to asset-built companies, asset-built loans, rather than VC or other kinds of money, run to asset-based things because they are the most powerful thing in our economy right now. Develop your competitive strength. We help with competitive strengths, services. We're not interested in making a killing on you until you make a killing in the market. So own your own company. Don't give it away. Thank you.
Any questions for Marshall?
What was the 3rd core competency? Must contribute to consumers something. Okay.
Must contribute to the end consumer's experience benefits.
The end user's benefit.
Yeah. So the important thing to realize here is that you come up with the idea and you'll say, well, I don't want to do this because people will copy me. Well, don't be afraid of copying because it's going to take time for them to copy you. It's going to be difficult for them to imitate. And remember, if you steal somebody else's idea, you've got a second-rate idea. If somebody steals your idea, they've got a second-rate idea. So you want to be on top of your idea. You want to understand how you can recreate this thing and how you see it working. If you have a business right now, you have a skill that nobody else has. But you have to understand what that is. The problem is most businesses don't see what they have in their power center. This is what they do that nobody else can imitate. Because there's only one you in this world. And you're really good at what you do, whatever that is. So you'll understand how to adapt this to everything you do. If you really identify what this is, you'll adapt it everywhere you go. And what you want to look at as a success factor is how it contributes to the end user's benefits. So you'll see it in your feedback. You'll see when you're doing it and when you're not doing it. You know, if you're in sales, you're trying to close a sale, the more you try to convince people, the more they back off, right?
Right.
So it's that simple.
So do you just fund products and traditional businesses, or do you, for example, I'm starting a training company.
We fund everything.
Okay, so are you a VC? What are you?
No, we aren't a VC. We don't do VC things. We don't take 30 times, we don't take 20 times your money back. We go 20, 30 times. So we look at just more like conventional stuff. We do pretty much conventional kind of financing, and we make a plan that works for you. So we don't want to make a forever relationship. We want to just get in, get out, get you started, and get you going. You know, we'll just act as that strategic advisor at one point. We'll put it together for you, and then it's up to you to make it succeed. When I come back and talk to us, we'll probably just tell you you're doing a great job.
So you are the liaison between me and the funds I need to grow, or?
We can get you the money. Okay, if you can work with us, we'll get you the money. There's ways to do it.
So you get us the money, plus you give us consulting.
Well, that's all part of getting the money. So.
Coach us, because obviously you have a successful background in building companies.
Right.
So as part of your service, coaching a new business startup, how to build a multi-million-dollar company, along with the funding of that
Or
company.
whatever you want to do. I mean, it may not be a multi-million-dollar, just whatever you want to make it. Okay, $1 million is not much now, but I don't want to call myself a coach because that's done by a lot of other people. I don't do coaching.
I just use that word, but I'm saying consulting.
Yeah,
Give guidance to.
I'm not a cheerleader. You know, you got to be willing to do it.
But you give the guidance on how to.
I give the guidance. I'll tell you what you need to do to get there. And it's like everything else. It's not 100%. There's people we can and we can't fund, and there's reasons for it. But if you'll work with us, you'll get your money. How much are you willing to do to get there?
Yeah, I think people having a one-on-one with you would be a good thing. You have a lot of questions. Any other quick questions, anybody? Okay, thank you. Give Marshall another big round of applause. Thank you, Marshall. That was excellent.